friends. Welcome to our Midweek Moment. Pastor Nicole here. So glad you clicked on. This week we continued on in our sermon series, Beautiful Resistance, the Life of Daniel, where we looked at the story in the Bible where King Nebuchadnezzar gets all in a fury about having this dream that he can't understand, and he tries to bring in all these people to interpret it, and nobody can, except for our guy Daniel. Now, you might remember from our story last week that Daniel was given the gift of being able to interpret dreams by God because he faithfully followed God and honored God by not eating from the king's table. So this week he's able to put that gift to use. He interprets King Nebuchadnezzar's dreams and then saves all of the sages in Babylon from being executed, including himself and his three friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, or Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, as they are also known. So we talked a little bit about the importance of understanding our spiritual gifts and how if we understand the gifts that we've been given by God, we can use them more confidently in our lives, and we can do what God has called us to do with a little bit, just that more confidence in being able to do that than when we don't understand what our gifts are. So we talked about being able to take an assessment. We have one on our website. We would encourage you to take if you haven't taken it. And then I will send you the results and a little bit more information about your gifts. So all that to say, when we finally do know what our gifts are, when we receive the assessment, maybe we've even had friends or our family chime in and say, yeah, that definitely sounds like you. There's a couple of things we have to know about spiritual gifts, which is sometimes it takes trying multiple times before we can find the right way to use our gift. So, say your gift is teaching. And you decide, I'm going to teach an adult Sunday school class. And you teach this adult Sunday school class and you're like, oh, I don't know. Maybe this isn't my gift. Maybe my gift is something else. This just doesn't seem like it's a good fit for me. What I would suggest is try teaching somebody else. Maybe your gift is teaching children instead. Maybe your gift is teaching youth. Maybe your gift is teaching in some other way. Maybe it's just not an adult Sunday school class. So those kind of things help us to realize that, our gifts have different ways that we're supposed to use them, maybe even different times and settings and situations that we're supposed to use them. So once we find a place where we feel good about using our gifts, there's two things that we're going to be looking for: fruit and fulfillment. So here's what I mean by that. When we use our spiritual gifts, we should see fruit from that. So if we're using our spiritual gifts correctly, we should see it bear fruit. We should see it bringing about good. We should see it making a positive impact in our church, in our community, in our world, however we're using our gift. But we can't just have fruit. We also have to have fulfillment. So we have to feel good and like a sense of being fulfilled in using our gifts. You can't have one without the other, because that means that you're not serving in your right place, or maybe it's just not the right time for serving in that place. So if you have fruit, say you are using your gift and you're seeing fruit and all this wonderful stuff is happening and it's all good, but you're not feeling fulfillment, you are going to burn out. You are going to feel overwhelmed. You are going to feel stressed out, and you're not going to feel that feeling of fulfillment that you're supposed to have. If you don't have that feeling of fulfillment of like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what God has called me to do. If you don't have that feeling, perhaps you're not using your gift in the right time, place, situation, whatever. Now, I'm not saying you can't feel burnt out. Everybody feels burnt out from time to time. But if you're not feeling any fulfillment, you're probably not using your gift when, where, or how it's supposed to be used. On the other hand, if you have fulfillment, like you're doing something and you feel so good about it and you feel like, oh, this is amazing, but you're not seeing any good come from it. You're using your gift, but it's causing like division in the community or in your organization, or you're using your gift and people are like, go back to that situation of teaching. You're teaching a Sunday school class and you're loving it. You're getting so much fulfillment out of it, but like nobody comes anymore. Then that might be that you're not seeing fruit. Now, I'm not saying like people are busy, they stop coming to class. I'm not saying like throw your gift away for that. But what I'm saying is that like if you're not seeing that fruit piece, if you're not seeing a positive impact come out of it, then maybe you're not using your gift in the right way. So we're going to be looking for fruit and fulfillment, both of those things when we're using our spiritual gifts. So there's so much more to say about this. And if you ever want to talk about your spiritual gifts, I am happy to chat about it. I really, really love spiritual gifts. I think they're so important. Understanding spiritual gifts can change your life. It certainly changed how I saw and understood my call as a pastor. It changed how I saw how I'm called to serve just as a Christian. It really was impactful to me once I really understood what my gifts were, and once I try to figure out like how am I supposed to be using these. So all that to say, if you are using your spiritual gifts, you're going to see some fruit and you're going to see some fulfillment. We see that in Daniel's story when he is able to use his gift. One, he sees fruit out of it, right? Because he's able to save all these people from execution because the king is like amazed at his gift. We also see fulfillment from Daniel because when he receives the vision from God of what the dream was and how to interpret it, he praises God and he's so joyful. So we see that fruit and fulfillment from Daniel. So how do we see that in our lives? I would challenge you this week to think about, how am I using my spiritual gifts? And am I seeing that fruit and fulfillment from them? And if I don't know what my spiritual gifts are, then you need to find out. So let me know. If you don't know what your spiritual gifts are, I can send you that assessment. It just takes a few minutes to finish, and I'll send you the results your way. And I'm happy to chat with you about how you can get plugged into using your spiritual gifts. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. Join us this weekend as we continue on in our series. We are going to be talking about doubt and taking steps of faith in the midst of doubt. So hope you'll join us for that. And I'm looking forward to continuing on in this series about Daniel. And we will see y'all later. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.